Welcome to another episode of Hard Factor presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Monday, April 20th, 2020. And boys, we're entering the 6th week of quarantine on a high note. Quite literally, we've made it to 420. So
hey,
yeah,
it looks like someone's healthy during quarantine based on that picture that Wes mentioned that I just saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a comment coming
Someone's
up.
eating okay.
Quite a comment coming up later in the
regular.
show.
Yeah, someone's
Yeah.
regular.
It's caused some waves at the beginning of the recording session. Yeah, so anyways, it's 420. You have an excuse to get higher than usual and just chill out. So that's some good news right off the bat for this day, this Monday. And I've got the 420 jersey and Jamaican flag wall up, inspired by Billy Football. Go watch the Barstool Feud rerun on the Hard Factor YouTube channel if you didn't watch it on Friday night. I don't want to, I guess I shouldn't spoil it.
Billy Football is a savant.
Billy Football is the best Family Feud player of all time.
Yeah.
And our performance was right on par with what we've been doing so far.
Yep.
So, all right.
Thinking outside of the box, Will. That's what we've been doing, which you don't do on Feud, apparently.
It's disappointing. It's just disappointing in general.
We need to do like an IQ test or some sort of thing to redeem ourselves to not prove that we're not the stupidest four people on earth. Because
I don't know.
Yeah,
we might just be.
we might be.
Let's get out of quarantine before we take any IQ tests. So maybe give me 8 weeks out of quarantine.
Yeah, you want to practice for it?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Quarantine might bring your brain down a little bit. Quarantine brain isn't as smart, I feel like.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, we've, of course, got updates from all over the U.S. and abroad. Mafia news, models, drugs, and much more. Mark, get us going.
All right, guys, do you want a domestic coronavirus update? Because you're going to get
hell
one.
yeah.
Because you're going to get one. The number of coronavirus-related deaths has eclipsed 41,000 in the U.S., which is by far the most of any country. So that sucks. It's probably higher than that now while you're listening to this. That was like Sunday evening. We also have over 750,000 positive cases reported in the U.S. That's over 750,000. But we are also the most tested country. As Trump said Sunday, we've eclipsed like 4.2 million people being tested for coronavirus in the U.S., which is like more than like pretty much every country combined, or like most of the other big countries combined. It's a lot of people tested, so that's good. And that we're still ramping up testing. There's like some new swab test that's like super easy and quick to do, so that's good as well. We're getting
Wasn't
tests
there
out
like a Q-tip? There was like a Q-tip thing.
swab.
They were like,
No.
is it a Q-tip? Is it not a Q-tip? That's
Right.
all.
It's like...
You got to be careful if you're a potential murder suspect, because they might come up to you and say, "Hey, try this corona test."
You have
but really
corona,
they're getting your DNA.
but you're also arrested for life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So be careful there.
Yeah. Trump also admitted to leaving Mitt Romney off the coronavirus task force. Like he's the only Republican senator left off the congressional task force. So
that was he more excitedly volunteered that information. Probably.
Yeah. He was asked is this because you still have a grudge against Romney? And he just flat out said, "Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of Mitt Romney at all.
He voted to impeach him.
Right. I'm not a fan of Mitt Romney, and I don't want his advice." He fucking voted to impeach him when he committed career suicide 4 months ago, you may remember, which seems so long ago, yet still so stupid of a decision by Mitt Romney. Why did he do that?
Yeah. God told him to do it.
I applaud Mitt Romney for voting with his heart.
Okay. Seema Verma, the administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, announced new guidelines on Sunday for reopening non-coronavirus healthcare facilities and their services like elective surgeries, and said that some hospitals that have unused capacity, they'll start rolling these guidelines out into phase 1 of the reopening of the U.S. So important elective surgeries will probably be available like this or next week, but it depends, where you live, the hospital capacities, stuff like that. But that's good news. Pence said New York is past its peak, and the governor of New York himself, Andrew Nipple Ring Cuomo, said the outbreak was slowing and not growing. So that sounds promising for the poor bastards in New York during this nightmare. Because yikes, right?
Is that really that would be amazing if they were actually on the decline, because that means that their lockdown could start to end in 2 weeks.
Hopefully,
if that's the case.
It's rough. I played a little bit of poker with a couple people from New York this weekend, and they're like, "Yeah, no, it sucks. New York sucks." to be in right now. A deal on additional funding for small businesses, specifically through like the Paycheck Protection Program, which was one of those things like the EIDL, the Paycheck Protection Program, may get finalized today and is coming soon either way, hopefully, as the $350 billion that were allotted for small businesses in the $2 trillion stimulus package from a couple weeks ago was depleted within like a few days. They're also trying to add at least like $75 billion to help hospitals and local hospitals in the new bill. So they're trying to help businesses still that got smashed because the $350 billion was not nearly enough. And they're trying to help hospitals, which is good.
And aren't they? Yeah, they're out of it too already, right?
No, that's what I'm saying. The $350 billion was depleted within like a matter of days. So they had to add funds. They're adding funds to one of their other programs, the Paycheck Protection Program for like all small business owners, and then specifically they're bailing out and helping hospitals that need supplies and staff and blah 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 blah. So in Florida, though, let's move it to Florida. Duval County reopened its beaches on Friday. Duval, the same day that Florida reported 58 deaths from COVID-19, which is the highest one-day death toll for the state. They opened the beaches that day. It didn't take long for pictures to start circulating the internet of thousands of people gathering at the beaches like meths to a flame, which led to hashtag Florida morons to trend all weekend long. Did I say meths to a flame? I meant moss to a flame. My bad. Freudian slip. Yeah, what the fuck, right? Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry is not amused, by the way, guys, of all this ribbing going on, like that mess to a flame joke.
They don't make money from the beaches. They're fucking public beaches.
He's pissed.
What? Okay.
I don't know. He's pissed. He's pissed because he's saying that the New York Times did an article about it. He's saying like the not local media, the national media is blowing us out of proportion and making fun of us too much, and that they should leave us alone. So let's take it to the internet, and our comment is from Mayor Lenny Curry from Jacksonville, and he says local news has been objective in the coverage of COVID-19 from beginning to where we are now. And they have been strong in the face of national and international news running sensational headlines with no understanding of our city. Thank you, local journalists. Long road ahead. Comment on that from Quick said, we'll watch the numbers go up and hold you personally responsible, led by our fantastical local journalist. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, though. Because, yeah, go ahead.
Florida's interesting because, like, parts of it or wherever that just, like, basically decide to open up right now, you'll get to see, we'll get to see how it plays out, basically.
Well, they want to open the beaches because they want to encourage tourism to come back, right? But the thing is, and I guess it is a tiered situation where you open the beaches, then tourism starts up.
But Pat, is it because don't they still have like restrictions on out-of-state people?
That's what I mean.
Out-of-state people crossing into their state and shit like that.
That's why it doesn't make sense. Yeah. I'm just trying to explore the motivation for why the fuck they would open.
No, they just like beaches.
Mental health.
Yeah.
Want to have the beach open.
They have the beaches. They want to be able to use them. I checked a few. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about though, because I checked a few of the local like Duval news outlets and couldn't find anything saying that the beaches being open is awesome. But I guess we'll just have to take his word on that one. Maybe they told him like if he gave him like an exclusive interview, they would like dap him up. I don't know. I did find one source, News4Jax, that reported that crowds were heavy on Friday at the beaches when they were initially reopened, and then again they were heavy on Saturday morning, but that they started to die down Saturday evening and Sunday, and the beaches are open like 2 blocks a day, like a morning and night block every day now, I guess. They also wrote, though, that not a lot of people were wearing masks and stated that while there weren't a ton of huge groups walking shoulder to shoulder, that people weren't exactly keeping 6 feet apart. So
just you don't want to. You can't get a mask tan.
No, exactly.
No.
So
I get hot wearing my mask, at the grocery store. I can't imagine 95-degree beach weather. That'd be tough to do.
Right?
What? This baffles me, man. This boggles my mind. I don't understand what these leaders don't understand about the fact that if you tell people the beaches are open, they're gonna rush to the beaches. If you tell people the restaurants are open, they're gonna rush to the restaurants. They look to you for direction, and all these people that are protesting are saying, we know how to take care of our own. We're not idiots. But it's like whatever opens up, people funnel there.
Pat, have you ever played frisbee at the beach? That's fun.
I have.
Yeah.
And also, you've never been an elected official who needs people to reelect them, and this is going to go a long way for Lenny Curry
Yeah.
Good point.
I
Good
think
point.
I think he's not up for re-election. I read a comment that he's
Oh, really?
not, but-
Okay.
but, well, not like this upcoming term, but
Lenny just loves the beach.
he
Yeah, Lenny
loves
just loves the beach, yeah.
Pat, like, look, I hear you,
Sunshine Lenny.
and I tend to agree with you
That's what they call him.
on the Michigan thing and the Florida thing. But you got to see both sides. You can't just be so closed-minded about it. It's a beach.
You're right.
Yeah.
It's a beach. You're right.
It's a beach.
I love a beach.
All right.
Life's a beach, right?
Yeah. That's
All
it.
right. All right. Okay, boys. Even though it's 420, not everybody is being super mellow right now. And specifically, I'm talking about protesters, which, of course, right? You know, when I say, like, who's not being mellow at all times?
That's
The
an
protesters.
oxymoron. Mellow protester.
Right.
The opposite of protesting is not protesting, which is far more mellow.
That's so mellow.
Reasonable
way
and mellow.
more
Yeah.
mellow. Mhm. Anyways, people have now protested in almost every state across the country.
Sweet.
In the past week, maybe not like New York or places like that, but most states in the past week to get their governors to open their state economies back up. And President Trump added fuel to the fire over the weekend, tweeting in all caps to liberate Minnesota, Michigan, and Virginia, where Democratic governors have implemented particularly harsh lockdown restrictions. And in Virginia, I think it was also about like gun legislation that had passed too. So, the governors, particularly Governor Jay Inslee of Washington, they weren't amused by it. And Jay's done a better job than most governors containing the spread, considering Washington had the very first case. And he noted that Trump's encouragement to open some states already is in opposition to the 3-phase program that the White House laid out last week, where you need declining infection rates for 14 days before you start to reopen all businesses in any state. So, the governors are like, all right, you're telling us to follow these rules, but why are you saying liberate,
Wait, can you warp to phase 3 like in a video game? Like in Mario Brothers, you can like fly
Yeah.
above the screen and get through the pipe.
I wish we could all warp to phase
You know what,
3
Will?
right now.
Can we start referring to the phase 3 as what it is? It's a 14-day parlay of
yeah?
declining infection rates.
You have to go through, each one is 2 weeks, right? So you have to have, before you can even enter phase 1.
But you
have
got to hit
have-
them all. That's what I'm saying. Because if you miss one, then it restarts the parlay.
It resets it.
I think so.
I think that's how all these protocols work, yeah. But you'd have to have declining like flu cases or flu/pneumonia cases for 14 days before you can enter phase 1. That's when you open businesses, and then you're supposed
And this
to, like,
is
wear
this
masks and
is this
stuff.
is state by state. So like New York could be on phase 2 while Texas is on phase 1, correct? Or is it
Right,
yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So anyways, that was laid out last week by the White House, and then the governor's like, well, why are you saying liberate when we have to go through these phases? Anyways, that was the back and forth between the president and the governors. And regardless, we can all breathe a little bit easier knowing that our protest, which is like tens of people to like less than 10,000 at the most, I think the Michigan maybe was the biggest with 6,000, they pale in comparison to the size of protests going on in places like Bangladesh, where 100,000 people gathered on Saturday for a funeral of Maulana oh man, I'm not going to say this.
Zubair Ahmed Ansari.
There you go. Thank
Close
you,
enough,
Pat. An Islamic teacher, beloved in the country. So they currently have a ban on gatherings of larger than 5.
Guarantee that was organized by the funeral director of Milana's funeral as a racket.
Do you think
you got to
this-
think about it? Who stands to benefit the greatest from this situation? It's funeral directors putting
Yeah.
out propaganda.
It's a good
that,
point.
You know,
It goes-
fuck
Well,
this.
it was the Islamic Church.
I'm
I
with
think.
you, Pat. Well, I don't. That's what I was going to ask. Do you think that the person who died, the teacher, would want to this? Because I don't think so.
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't
though.
know.
I don't think
know.
so.
I don't know much about Milana, so
All right.
not sure what kind of a person he was. Anyways, 100,000 people gathered. They were only supposed to have 5 or fewer. So basically, in
Close.
Bangladesh,
if you're gonna break it, really go for it.
yeah, they really don't give a fuck. That's a serious protest. Our protests are fucking nothing compared to that shit. 100,000 people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's impressive. Yeah. So in the end, hopefully, the 5 weeks that we've put in to slow the spread in the USA is already paying dividends, and we don't see massive outbreaks again with people starting to revolt against the lockdowns, nation and worldwide. And here is a commenter from Austin, Texas, Elena Gallardo. And Pat, she says the opposite of what you said earlier. She says, you can open it all you want, but it doesn't mean people will go to businesses without feeling safe.
Absolutely, it does. And absolutely, Alana, you're dead wrong. If
Yeah,
you
I
open
agree.
anything you open, people will fill it up.
Some, yes, a lot of people will, but some people will definitely still stay away.
Yeah, it's in between. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you'll start making money these small
Some,
businesses,
but like
not everyone
80%
will.
of people, 80% of people will just start going back to shit like they normally
Yeah,
do.
my thing is, you know that you left an impact on this world if people die because of your funeral. Like that is a real.
Yeah, how do you got? Yeah, Mark. Good
Mark.
point. How do you think he feels about that?
I don't
from
think
beyond?
he would have liked it. Is what my point.
I don't think he cares, bro.
I think
he's just.
I'm going to assume that like 99.9% of Islamists he teaches love and peace, and probably didn't want all of his friends to die. Like,
Has nothing to do-
or
has nothing to
whatever,
do with religion.
whatever the percentage is. 3% of people that catch.
This is just, it's just pure human ego. This has nothing to do with religion.
No,
creed.
I don't.
This-
I'm assuming if he would have wanted it, then I'm glad he's dead.
There you go. Well, all these protests in Austin aren't doing well for the three-phase program for us, I can tell you that.
No, they're back to phase one.
Yeah, back to phase one for us. Another protest. All right, guys, got to give credit to our Australian correspondent and researcher, Rick Holt, for turning us on to this one. Good on you, mate. So, guys, we have all seen that coronavirus has given many prisoners the gift of freedom before their time was due. Tekashi 6ix9ine was let out early. Back in the beginning of April, Bill Barr ordered the Bureau of Prisons to identify and release inmates who were eligible for home confinement to be released early in states. So we saw some riots, some escapes. And now in news from Australia, which I'm not really sure if this is just big news in Australia, because I've never heard of this until now, but apparently it's huge in Australia, and she was on 60 Minutes. So an infamous drug smuggler who goes by the name of Cocaine Cassie. You guys ever hear of Cocaine Cassie?
No.
No. All right. I think this is just a big Australian
what kind of
story.
drug does she sell?
Yeah, Cocaine Cassie. It sounds like Cocaine Pat.
Yeah, she's a weed dealer, huh?
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah. So Cocaine Cassie has been released from a Colombian prison 3 years into her 6-year sentence. Lucky her. Back in 2017, she was arrested at the El Dorado airport in Bogota while trying to smuggle 5.8 kilograms, almost 13 pounds of cocaine back to the good people of Australia in some headphone boxes in her luggage. 18 headphone boxes to be exact. So that's, not suspicious
She
at
loves
all.
headphones. Yeah.
She really likes headphones, yeah.
I'm pretty sure I read a stat not too long ago that the cost of cocaine in Australia is something like 6 to 12 times as much as it is anywhere else in the world.
Well,
'Cause it's really hard. It's really hard to smuggle into Australia. Let me double check.
She was in the right business then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a big fucking island. It's surrounded by coasts. You think
Yeah,
it'd
and
be
yeah,
easier.
exactly. Boats get to it so easily. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe they don't. Do they not grow it over there? I don't know.
What?
No. It all comes from South America.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway,
far
That's a
away.
long way to go.
Yeah, far
yeah.
away.
So just very ambitious for the 22-year-old back then, who said she needed money. And that's why she did it. So Cassie turned to Colombian cocaine to make ends meet. I guess this made huge news because she was a cute young blonde chick who didn't exactly fit the mold of a drug smuggler. Cassie was one of 4,000 prisoners released by President Ivan Duque amidst an overcrowded prison situation with fears of coronavirus spreading like wildfire, like prisons in most countries. So speaking to 60 Minutes, Cassie said she's learned a lot from the experience and says, I learned a lot about people. I've learned how to analyze people better. I've learned not to trust people so much. And that's something you probably would learn in a Colombian prison.
Yeah.
It's definitely
tight-lipped there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I've learned how to defend myself from getting shanked.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean her Australian accent remains real strong.
I had to get shanked a couple of times to learn really good, but
right.
eventually I got
It's
there.
on-the-job training. Guys, a gram of cocaine in Australia, $309. A gram of cocaine in New Zealand, $336. Compared to the United States, which is 87, 82.
So only rich people are doing cocaine over there.
Yeah. Well, just a good way to turn a profit, I guess. So, she learned a lot while she's in prison. She won't be boarding a plane headed down under anytime soon, though. As part of her parole, she has to stay in Colombia for 27 more months, which is, I think, the remainder of her sentence, I guess. So now the 60-minute equivalent of Australia, called Sunday Night, did a piece on her, and they are alleging she was working as a prostitute in Australia, and that some comments that may have come out in the courts could possibly put her life in jeopardy now that she's released because she was smuggling cocaine for some kind of cartel down there, I'm sure. Lots of lies, deceit. Her uncle says she's full of shit. Even her dad says she's full of shit. Some possible blackmail is the reason she was flown to Colombia, which when you work as a prostitute and you don't want anyone to know about it, you're very susceptible to blackmail from the situations you get yourself in. So she's free, but probably has a gun on her at all times. Might not make it out of Colombia, it sounds like. But
So now she's only in a prison of her mind because she's got to look both ways. Yeah. Got it.
yeah,
You might want to think about rebranding.
Yeah. Cocaine Cassidy's got to change it up a bit.
Yeah, that and also probably she should reach out to McAfee. He sounds like a guy who would know what to do in this situation.
He'll get you out.
It's true.
Absolutely. So
He'll
yeah,
airlift you.
yeah, big news down there. It's like one of the bigger stories of the year.
Cocaine. Did you hear Cocaine Cassie's out?
She's out.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Cocaine.
Blimey.
Just
I
Cassie.
don't know. Is that
They call me Just Cassie now. Louisiana pastor, guys, who defied Louisiana state shelter-in-place orders not once but twice back in early April for holding large-scale church services at his Baton Rouge Life Tabernacle Church, is launching a new internet challenge, guys, and it's all the rage. It's hashtag Pastor Spell Stimulus Challenge. Here's where the challenge comes in. He's challenging everyone in the Estados Unidos to donate their stimulus checks to evangelical churches who haven't seen offerings in months.
Oh, my God. Oh, no.
That's right,
Haven't
guys.
they gotten online offerings? You know, because I'm sure that
Some
there's like
have, Will, but you want to keep in mind that this would not include Spell's church, who have, in fact, had offerings because he kept his fucking church open when it wasn't supposed to be, presumably so he could get offerings.
Who's going to buy? How's he going to buy the jets?
It's tough. Yeah, I know. This dumbass did an interview with CNN's Victor Blackwell about the challenge where he said during this time he wants to look out for missionaries and evangelicals, to which Blackwell interrupted, "Hold on, Pastor. Nonprofits and faith-based ministries can apply for the Paycheck Protection Program," to which Spell responded, "We don't want to. We don't want the government to give us a dime. We're happy to provide for ourselves." So he doesn't want the SBA loan because it's government money, but he does want the government money giving directly to individuals who need it. I totally get it. Makes sense.
He doesn't
wants
want the
it
paper
from-
trail, yeah.
Yeah, he wants his congregation to sacrifice for the church, but not the government, because that would just be too much.
He doesn't want any sort of like link to the government paying him. Like, no, he wants cash from the dum-dums.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No?
Why does that make a difference where it comes from?
I just think he doesn't want to be indebted to the government.
If you aren't necessarily indebted from some of these programs.
He's used to Will taking money directly from people. He wants to keep doing that. It's normal to him.
I can see that.
And guys, if you don't have an evangelical church
If
that
it
you
ain't
go
broke,
to,
don't fix it.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
what Pastor Spell says. If you don't have an evangelical church that you favor, that's fine. You can just go to his website and give directly there, and he'll take care of it, make sure it's dispersed properly. He and his wife and his son all donated their stimulus checks.
Yeah, and if you want the four of us to make fun of people that run these churches and take advantage of people, you can send us your stimulus money so that we can keep doing it.
That's true. We'll actually provide you a service.
Yeah.
So let's take it to the internet, guys. Jay Inspires, or at IMJL, says, I'm just going to send him my thoughts and prayers. And then Sean O'Hara tweeted, hashtag Pastor Stell stimulus challenge. Here's my donation. And then tweeted a photograph of his or her shit.
Oh.
Yeah. An actual picture of their fresh
just
turd. It's gross.
Staring at it. It caught me off guard so much in the beginning. We had to redo the sync clap because I was just zeroed in on it.
I'm telling you, they've had a more regular diet than I have. Good on them. Some logs.
Yours aren't looking that healthy, huh?
Not logs.
I think that's two different people.
You think?
It looks like
let's
it.
Let's not get too deep into it, guys.
They did the stack it on top.
I think it's two different people.
Two stimulus checks.
Get in here. We're going to send
One
this
roommate laid
pastor.
the foundation.
I'm creating a tweet. Get in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no word on if they're going to mail that turd or not. Probably not, because they wouldn't have shit it in the toilet if they were. But
Right.
Anyway, guys, this segment brought to you by our sponsor, Predict It, the stock market of gambling. It's fantastic. Jump in with us. Politics gambling. You know what I mean. On predictit.org, you can get on and gamble on news, politics. It's fantastic. Right now, we've been kind of pumping one market for the last week or so, and it is heating up. And that is the vice presidential nominee for the Democrats market.
Let me take a look at it right now.
Yeah, we've been going pretty heavy on Warren because makes the most sense if you ask us. Logically, right now Warren's at 15 cents. I think we got in at like 3, 6, and 9 cents respectively.
16 cents. I got in at 8 cents average.
Girl.
Yeah,
Yep.
doubled up.
Yeah, Harris is leading the pack with Klobuchar following closely behind. But if you want to get on the action, it's a lot of fun, especially with no sports gambling going on. Go to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20. That's a unique URL. The website's going to look just the same as if you went directly to predictit.org without the unique URL. But once you go to that unique URL, you can sign up, and if you deposit $20, we will match your $20 deposit with a free $20. So it's free cash, baby. Get in on it.
By the way, Michelle Obama's also on the rise.
Oh,
She's at 10 cents, right?
Whoa! Will called both Warren and Obama. He was all over this market.
That was my bet when they were, I think, 10 cents total when I got
She
it.
is on the rise.
Blows me away. We'll see, guys. It's going to be a hot market.
There's been a number of articles written recently. Forbes did an article. I think the New York Times did an article about Warren as like just the obvious. Why wouldn't he not pick her?
Hard Factor
kinda pick.
boys are
Yep.
tuned in.
If Warren wins, the Hard Factor boys are going to be doing okay for an extra month or two. It's
Yeah.
like an extra stimulus check.
Yeah,
each.
going to be stimulated.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff, Pat. You done?
I'm done.
All right. Here's a crazy story and one that proves that just because someone is hot does not mean you should have a child with them.
That is a good lesson.
It's a very hard lesson to learn for some people, but one that I feel
So you're
like
saying just looks alone doesn't qualify?
yeah,
Okay.
pull it out.
Which is hard because I feel
cap
like
it.
I feel like as a man or a woman, it works the opposite. You just want to breed with attractive people because you want
Right.
your seed to be hot.
Well, that's even in the animal kingdom, Pat. Those birds that like flock their shoulders and the different colored feathers. Hey, anyways, Heather Inks, former Texas model and super hot crazy lady, has been on the FBI's most wanted list for the past 6 years for kidnapping her daughter after her ex-husband won full custody of then 11-year-old Penelope. So she was actually like supposed to show up to the final court hearing where I guess she knew her husband Kevin was going to win custody, so she didn't. And while they were trying to award him custody, they were like, "Where is she? And where's Penelope?" And she was gone. Inc., Heather, that is, was listed on the FBI's most wanted as armed and dangerously attractive. No, that part's a bit of
How hot is she?
she's hot.
attractive.
That part was a bit of a fib. It was just armed and dangerous, but the FBI did apparently refer to Inks as the nude model kidnapper Will because she appeared in Playboy and nude photos of her were leaked, probably by, I don't know, her husband or someone. So nice when FBI, they're like, "Oh, we got to get the nude model kidnapper. She's hot."
You got a manhunter.
Yeah, we got a manhunter.
That's how they find their kidnappers or criminals is by giving them cool nicknames.
Yeah, move her up the list.
Yeah,
remember-
exactly. That
Yeah.
bumped her up.
Yeah.
There was that guy who that movie Alpha Dog was based on, and his name was like Jesse Hollywood James or something. It was
You
like,
gotta have a cool nickname.
She's probably been caught like 30 times and let go for like, fucking them.
Oh, wow.
We were
Okay.
close.
Yeah, we were close. FBI loves their nicknames. All right. Inks was even featured in several true crime shows, guys, over the last several years, so I'm sure I've seen her because that's my jam. And the Manhunt, which should be Woman Hunt or Human Hunt, am I right, even went international. Inks used several aliases and was really just doing a great job of staying under the radar, except for, guys wanting to hook up with her, not knowing who she was, until April 3rd, that was. That's when the hot idiot called the Madisonville Police Department on herself and asked officers to come to her motel room at the Days Inn and Suites, claiming that her ex-husband was trying to poison her. So officers responded to the motel and immediately assessed that Inks was not in danger of being poisoned besides by alcohol, and that she was with an
She
unidentified...
got so drunk that she called the cops on herself when she's on the most wanted list.
Yeah, she thought...
She
Oh,
forgot.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
She-
Talk
well-
about waking up upset with yourself. I mean,
Will,
she fucked
you've
up.
never been a hot chick though, because imagine they're walking around with such confidence. You don't
she
even
thought-
know.
I mean,
She
yeah,
did.
but not that.
She was pissed the guys weren't treating her right because I guess her either second husband or at least allegedly the father of her second child was in the motel with her, and that's who she called the cops on because she thought he was trying to poison her. He's also not her current husband, who's another guy altogether who thought. I didn't know anything about her criminal past, I guess. Everyone knows crazy when they see it, but when it comes to it in a pretty package, they all think they are crazy tamers. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can deal.
Give me
I
a
can
whip and
deal
a-
with this for a while.
Yeah.
And a bar stool. He said, "Give me a whip and a bar stool."
Anyways, yep, the officers started questioning the people there, and Inks, of course, gave a false identity like she had for the past 6 years, but the officers saw right through her phony name, and when they ran through the system, nothing came up, so they're like, can you actually give us your real,
No, they're
your
like,
real
we
name?
know you. You're Inks.
Right. Well, they did say that, Will, when they finally got her to give another alias, and the problem is she gave a well-known alias of hers. So it popped in the system, so to speak, and she was immediately arrested. But the story gets a little bit more fucked up from here. So it was all fun and games until then. Kevin Inks, the first husband who was awarded custody of Penelope and never got her, and who appeared with his then wife Heather on Dr. Phil back in 2008 to try and fix their marriage, but to no avail, hired a private investigation firm, Klein Investigations, to help find his daughter. Klein Investigations reported in a press release after this whole thing went down that when they found Penelope, she was abandoned in the same motel in Madisonville, Texas, ironically 2 hours from their home back in the day where she was kidnapped from, and she was in an emaciated state. She was 16 now, and she weighed 74 pounds and had been living on Dr. Pepper and candy and refused to eat a new hot meal when the authorities tried to get her to eat because she was confused on who to trust and who not to trust. So that's not good.
That sucks.
Wow, that's terrible.
But hopefully things will get better for her as she is now going back to her dad, Kevin, who released an emotional video in 2016 to his daughter that said, "The thing I want to do is wrap my arms around you and tell you that I love you. We're going to create a new life together. I'm going to be the dad you need and deserve." And she does need and deserve a dad, so hopefully that works out. But I'm going to make a prediction here. That's Heather Inks is going to probably have at least 2 more husbands in jail because she's a looker. That's just how it works out. She's going to get more guys to do whatever she wants.
In those male female jails combined.
Yeah. Just some poor loser that takes the bus to go visit her and does whatever she wants.
Yeah.
Can you
bring your
kidnap Penelope? Yeah, sure. Sure. I'll do it.
Yeah, she's always got a male thrall around. She's good for a few at a time, probably. All right,
man.
Let's move it on to the 420 fantasy draft because, fellas, it is that day of the year where the people who smoke weed every day are just going to probably smoke a little bit extra, and casual smokers will probably try and light up if they can get their hands on something. And it's a day when the judgment is a little less harsh when you're, like blowing smoke into your camera and posting it somewhere. You can feel good celebrating your love of cannabis on 420, just like the 4 of us have. We've all got a. You guys are all happy it's 420, right? I mean,
Yes,
what
of course.
are your
absolutely.
feelings about this day? You feel like it's special?
Of course. I wish I had the whole day off. Are we doing an event today, Pat?
Yeah,
for
we
High
are.
Times?
We're doing a High Times party as part of their 420 coverage. We'll be at hightimes.com/live, I believe, at 2:30 Central to 3 o'clock, doing a little weed-related content for you guys.
Cool. So, yeah, to answer your question, that's really cool. And, Will, yeah, I mean, I enjoy 420, and I think it's cool that we have a job where we can talk positively about weed and the states that are finally legalizing and all that shit. So, yeah.
It's like a virtual park. That's what it's like, a virtual public park in your town. That's what the 420 live stream is going to be like today.
Nice.
Will, is it less, now that you live in a legal state, is some of the luster worn off from it? Because it's like, it's 420, but
420?
yeah.
I feel like it's the exact same as luster as it's always been for me. Because for me, I smoke every day anyways. It's really not that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, back when you were young, it's like, 420, but you know, you can smoke every day.
Yeah, but anyways, I mean, it's great. It's great that it's a celebration day.
Yeah.
It adds a little extra pizzazz.
True.
For sure.
And so, in honor of 420, we're gonna do a little fantasy snake draft of the perfect lock down and turn up coronavirus style 420 lineup that you could have for yourself. Okay.
Ooh, yeah, and
inside.
speaking of that, let me just say real quick, the shirts, we've gotten some requests. The shirts are restocked. They're
That's
back
right.
in. So this
All sizes.
All sizes, just, while I'm thinking about it.
So definitely when you're getting high today, log on to the Barstool store, check out the Lockdown Turned Up shirt, and think about this. We're going to have one salty snack each, one sweet snack each, one movie, one TV show, and one video game that would get us through the perfect 420 Lockdown Turned Up coronavirus style 420 day. So,
Okay.
So that's what we're doing.
For our
we
draft.
could have added sex position too, but I don't want our listeners thinking about our bodies having sex.
Mm-hmm.
So.
There's like one of three, so.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not that athletic anymore. All right. So the order is just going to be the order that we're doing the stories today. So it's going to be Mark, Will, Wes, Pat, snake draft style. So salty snack is first. Mark, you go.
Salty snack is first. Cheez-Its, like a big bag of Cheez-Its or box of Cheez-Its.
Okay. Good
And I
answer.
mean like salty food, and it could be anything.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to clarify.
Cheez-Its or nachos if you're going to go like outside the box, not like a simple snack, but nachos, but simple
Now, keep in
snack,
mind you're going to be
Cheez-Its.
high, Mark.
Cheez-Its.
Yep.
All right. Okay. I like that pick. I'm going to go with pizza. I know I'm on a calzone kick, but I mean pizza, the old reliable. That's going to be my
More of a
probably
meal.
the
More
thing
of a
I've
meal.
eaten the most
That's
of.
why I threw nachos in there because you threw in a curveball at the end. That's not really
Right.
Not really a snack.
Snack.
salty
Yeah.
salty food, sweet
Yeah.
food. Okay, how about that? That's
Okay.
a better description. So
Okay.
okay,
Gotcha.
Wes, you're up.
Well, I'm just gonna go with what I've been on a real big kick lately. Are these salt and vinegar almonds, like those flavored, like the bold flavor salt and vinegar almonds. I've been eating the absolute shit out of those.
So are those like in a bag? Or are you talking about like
Now,
are
they're
those
the-
the bulk things you get from the store?
They're in little tins. I think you can get them bigger, but
tins.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But they're
So I don't know if this takes mine off the board, which is salt and vinegar chips.
No, you're good.
no,
No,
definitely.
that's
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
For my
Definitely
s-
good.
That's my salty
Potato
snack,
chips.
and then my sweet snack, because we're snaking it back, easily Sour Patch Kids. When you get a little high, throw some SPKs in your mouth. Weed makes everything better. SPKs also.
I like those.
No
Those are
exception.
complimentary picks too.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Okay.
They're near
Well-
each other in the snack aisles, too.
Yeah. Well, normally, about 5 years ago, I would have agreed with Pat, but I discovered Haribo Golden Bears, which are the sour gummy bears that Haribo makes, and they absolutely crush Sour Patch Kids.
So
in my
golden
opinion.
gummy bears.
But
Yeah,
that,
they're
that
sour.
from that company, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
Haribo
company.
Golden Bears. They're the sour gummy bear, and they are by far my favorite candy.
Interesting sweet choices, but okay. Will, you're up.
This was tough. I'm also like somewhat of a gummy guy like you guys, but I got to differentiate myself in this situation. I'm going with McDonald's Sprite as my sweet one.
Okay.
All right.
It is a different Sprite.
Similar, I'm going with milkshake. A like nice.
That's big.
Maybe like giant McDonald's milkshake, like a vanilla milkshake. I
Oh,
prefer,
yeah.
but yeah. Vanilla milkshake.
That's pretty good. Also, one warning about the gummies, guys. You really got to be careful when you're eating gummies on 420 because you don't want to get too high and then accidentally consume.
Oh,
A
right.
weed
A lot of
gummy.
These are the snacks. These are the
chewing
snacks.
too.
This has nothing to do with whatever you're gonna. However,
I'm saying
you're
it's
gonna
dangerous.
enjoy.
You got to be careful.
What's the third thing? Because I'm back on the snake. What's the third
All right,
option?
movie. What's your movie?
Braveheart.
Oh, good pick.
Good weed movie.
Yeah. Well, it's just a good movie, and then weed just enhances it. Like, probably gonna cry twice.
And it's a long one. You can smoke like 2 blunts during that.
You
movie.
could smoke a lot.
Oh wow! All right, I've got too many to choose from. I'm just gonna go any Star Wars. Is that?
Yeah.
Really? I don't think that's smart, Will. I think that's dumb.
I can't do that.
I like it.
Well, no, you can, but I think that you might get disappointed if you get stuck with one of the Jar Jar Binks ones.
Well, I mean, I'm saying any. You could choose of any.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll allow it. I like it. I like it, and I'll allow it.
Okay. See, normally I would say, all right, I'm gonna go Jurassic Park for mine. The classic Jurassic Park.
Great weed movie.
Just take any Jurassic Park. We'll open
Yeah.
the door on that. Any Jurassic Park.
You don't
Yeah.
know.
Off-
That's
off the
see,
board.
that- it's not
Off the board.
applicable. You only want one
you can
Jurassic
choose
Park.
franchises.
No, he just chose a franchise. All right, Pat.
Okay.
You're up.
All right, easy. Commando. It's the best. But Arnold Schwarzenegger, 1983, I think, classic 85. It's the best weed movie of all time.
It is it's a classic.
Pat, what does he eat for breakfast?
What does Commando eat for breakfast? I know he feeds a deer.
He eats he eats green berets for breakfast.
Oh, he eats green berets for breakfast. Excuse me. It's been a minute since I've watched it.
Yeah, I also do. Pat loves Commando while stoned. So my second choice was Predator. So I needed.
Predator.
Also great.
Can you just take Schwarzenegger movies?
Right. I mean, because that would have. Well, if you could, that would have been obviously the pick. All right, Pat, you're back.
TV show Easy. That's 90 Day Fiance. Get down on it.
That's the new one with the. Yeah.
Yep, it's a lot of fun to watch while high because you're just sitting there thinking. There's always this poor woman. This Midwestern woman from Ohio clearly got taken by this Tunisian, 28-year-old dude that just wanted a green card. It's sad but horrible, but she just can't learn. She can't learn. No. She's taking him back. Check it out, 90 Day Fiance. It's fantastic.
90 Day Fiance is awesome. I have to agree. TV show, diners, drive-ins, and dives for me when I'm really high.
Ooh, Guy Fieri.
Yeah. I love me some diners, drive-ins, and dives. Just it's mindless. It's food. It makes me hungry.
Dangerous to watch when you're high.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Ooh, I wanted to see. I'll probably just take The Office in general.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's
Office.
a good pick.
You could do any of them.
It happens a lot. I mean, it's on. You can just let them ride. I'm gonna go a little more vague since I've been zeroing in, and you guys have been going a little vague on some of your interests. I'm gonna say true crime shows. Any awesome true crime show I like to watch when I'm high.
Oh man!
Oh, a CSI type.
Yeah,
style?
But not a fictional one necessarily. A fictional one would be Criminal Minds, but an actual true crime show, so and so.
Oh, like A&E style or something like that.
The wife killed the husband and chopped him in pieces.
I'm super high. And I'm like, are they gonna find the killer?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I like that. All right, Mark. Video game.
Oh, back to me for video game. Holy moly! Well, I'll just say any Final Fantasy, but Final Fantasy VII. I'm playing the remake. Final Fantasy VII, the original, is the best video game of all time. So Final Fantasy RPG franchise, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII, if you have to pick a particular game.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. I will go. I mean, I'm not gonna. I guess I would love to take the whole category, but I won't. I'm just gonna take the all-time classic. I'll do GoldenEye.
Okay.
A shooter.
I thought you were gonna go Skyrim.
I would have, but I'm not doing solo games here. Mm-hmm. I think that there's an advantage to playing games that you could play. To pick for your one video game, there's an advantage to picking a game you could play by yourself or with others. Mm-hmm. So GoldenEye, to me, that's a good one. That's a classic, all-time classic shooter.
Do you own a Nintendo 64 right now?
Currently do not. So if it's something I had to play right now that's on there, it would be like Destiny or Call of Duty. Probably.
I'm about to go set mine up and play GoldenEye and rub it in your face.
Oh,
just send you.
I might
that
have two.
sounds so amazing.
Yeah.
We could link ours up.
There you go. Wes, video game? You're not a big video game guy.
I'm not a big video game guy, but I do have a favorite. The one that I played in college just nonstop is the N64 version of Super Smash Brothers. Or
Nice.
Smash Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
That game is incredible.
That's a multiplayer fighter. So you're
Smash
on,
Brothers
yeah.
is a great game.
Yeah.
Great party game.
Love that. I'm going to change my TV show because I realized I missed this, and it was stupid of me. Night on Earth, the Netflix documentary. If you haven't seen this shit yet, it will blow your fucking mind.
Yeah.
Pat just loves Netflix.
Yeah.
They're using these low light cameras, and you can watch animals at night.
In general, we missed the Planet Earth blueprint.
Planet Earth
we
in
fucked,
general.
We fucked that
that's
up.
a great swap.
Yeah.
That's a great swap out.
But Night on Earth is new. Video game easy. Tetris. I like to be challenged when I'm stoned. Usually fail, but a big fan of it.
I like
Tetris?
that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right, that's a challenge. That'll keep your neurons firing.
It counteracts the brain cells I just killed.
I gotta be leveling up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll put that out tomorrow. We'll put up a poll, see who won that. Anyhow, tune in to watch us today. Tune in to watch us today on the High Times live stream for 420 this afternoon at 2:30 Central, and we'll put out the link, I'm sure, on Hard Factor Twitter. And this segment, this 420 segment, was brought to you by the other cannabinoid, and that is Caliper CBD. And says, so who says taking care of yourself needs to be hard? That's what I like about Caliper CBD. It's just a great way to help you feel better without making drastic changes in your daily routine. It's a little packet of CBD. Now, that's the other cannabinoid in cannabis, not THC. It's the one that just helps you feel better, not the one that gets you high. This little packet dissolves right into your favorite drink in seconds, including water. It helps to de-stress your day, calm you down, relieve pain, and can help you sleep easier. I like to take mine in the morning or after a workout. The stress relief and pain relief aspects are what I'm most interested in. But you can take it whenever is convenient for your schedule and what you want to get from it. Unlike CBD oils, Caliper CBD powder is completely tasteless and mixes easily into any food or drink. No taste, no oily residue or mouthfeel. Precisely 20 milligrams of CBD in each packet. Never question how much you're taking ever again. Rediscover your best self with the CBD product that's clinically proven to be superior to standard CBD oils. It's clinically proven to absorb 450% more with the powder compared to tinctures. So 450%, guys, that's a lot better than a tincture.
Significantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And doesn't taste like trash. Like
Do
By
the
a
math.
mile.
Yeah.
All kinds of advantages. And Caliper gives you all the benefits of CBD in just 15 minutes, about twice as fast as CBD oil. It comes in an affordable 10 and 30 count packs. You can get started for under $20. Individual packets give you the benefits of CBD wherever you go. Caliper is completely THC free. All the goodness of CBD with no high. It's all natural, no GMO ingredients. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code FACTOR at trycaliper.com/factor. Again, that's trycaliper.com/factor and enter promo code FACTOR. You can try Caliper CBD risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund. That's trycaliper.com/factor and enter promo code FACTOR for 20% off your entire first order.
Sucker for 20% off. I'm a sucker for those type of offers.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, 10%, 20% is pretty nice though. Yeah.
I hope they send us some more. All right, guys, the Italian mafia is alive and well and looking to take advantage of the coronavirus as their country mourns thousands of victims and reels from the economic impacts, just as many countries, including our own, are doing right now. It has been reported that they have started offering struggling business owners help to stay afloat for what has to be an astronomical interest rate.
Protection, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
They call it protection.
Oh, I think we're
Right.
talking about loan sharking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
pretty much. Yeah. So they're counting on cashing in on the billions of euros that will soon go out in stimulus payments. They're also taking advantage of the lack of personnel and security at airports and ports, especially the I don't know how to fucking say this, Natargata based cartel.
I mean, it's really smart when you think about it. They're just turning up.
La Cosa Nostra, not cartel. What are you talking about?
No,
no.
that's one of them, but this is the largest. It's Nederrheta in Calabria, which is.
I thought you were talking about before you did the loan shark. I thought they were going to whack people with under the guise of the coronavirus. You know what I mean? Like,
No. Well, I'm sure they are doing that
maybe
too.
we take care of them.
Right.
You know?
Don't give
Maybe
him
he
any
gets
ideas.
a cough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
He gets a
Maybe.
little
Yeah.
cough.
Maybe he gets a cough.
Now you just can't leave.
That's funny. So apparently this particular branch of mafia controls 80% of the European cocaine market, and 80%, that makes you kind of untouchable, basically. But like any good criminal, the mafia also invests their money and has a lengthy portfolio. Franco Gabrielli, the head of the Italian police, says they are heavily invested in funeral homes, agricultural food chains, gas stations, medical equipment, medicine supply, delivery companies, cleaning companies, many essential businesses. It's like they knew this fucking thing was coming. Basically, in times of crisis, the mafia acts like a huge bank. They lend money, get it to you quickly with less red tape, then they slowly take over your business.
They also probably aggressively make you take the loan a lot better than banks do.
Yeah.
Probably, yes. Yeah.
Sign it.
Yeah. Take the money.
Yeah.
Right.
Now.
Yeah. And when a crisis hits, restaurants and hotels are especially susceptible, and they love restaurants and hotels to act as a front for their drugs smuggling and, businesses. So the mafia lends money, and before you know it, you ain't the owner of your own restaurant anymore because you took too big of a loan, and they are threatening to gut you like a fish if you don't pay up. They also move into poor neighborhoods to gain an allegiance. They're like the Robin Hoods of criminals, and they act as an alternative to the government. Then they move their influenced politicians up the lines, get them voted into office by the people. Boom, you got a guy on the inside. All it takes is a lot of fucking drugs and a lot of fucking money, which they both have, and they love times like this to take advantage of.
Then you got the mafia. That's the whole business model.
Yep. That's right. So they're mafia.
Been doing that for quite some time, right?
Yep, that's right.
Perfected it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is their model.
Yeah, that's their business model.
This is their model. It just works really well during times like this.
Right?
Yep.
Let's segue into their backyard, the state of New Jersey. New Jersey residents are taking this downtime to beautify New Jersey's beaches, specifically Sandy Hook in Monmouth County. They've been doing beach cleanups, and the items picked up on these beaches help illustrate trends on what's going on in New Jersey and the United States as a whole, which is why last year the largest spike in items picked up on the beaches were vape pods. A lot of vape pods picked up.
Makes sense.
The good news, guys, though, is that plastic bags, straws, coffee stirrers, etc., plastic products are becoming less common on New Jersey beaches. So that's a little bit of a good trend there. Yeah, some more New Jersey-centric items that have been found on the shores include boxer shorts, a turkey baster, vampire teeth, a full jar of pickles, and a pregnancy test. My assumption is positive. Also an empty bag of human cremated remains. Because after you spread your loved one's ashes in the ocean, why do you need this fucking bag?
Yeah, just toss it in.
Throw it away. Since 1985, guys, when the sweep...
She's still in there. Let's get her. Just toss the bag.
Well, also, I've got some ashes I need to spread. I've got some ashes currently I need to spread of my last dog. And then I was wondering, like, do you just slit a hole in the bag and then you just chuck it, as far as you can? That way, it gets as far into the water, or do you like how? Or do you got have to wade in?
No, you go to Ralph's, you get a fucking coffee can.
That's the only thing I have is the Big Lebowski. That's my only frame of reference for how to spread ashes.
Good point.
You should make sure you don't do it on a windy day.
You should probably Google it, or we could Google it for you. But
yeah, don't throw the bag away once you're done spreading ashes.
Just haven't looked it up. But anyhow, yeah, I've been thinking about it, never actually Googled it.
Are you doing the ocean?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Probably Tahoe. But.
Yeah.
Tahoe.
Oh, there you go.
Wherever his favorite spot was. Anyway, guys, since 1995, when the sweeps began, over 7.2 million pieces of trash have been removed from New Jersey shorelines by volunteers, which is great, right? And in 1993, I was one of...
And that was just the drunks at the bars.
No, I know. But in 93, I was one of those volunteers. That's why this story kind of caught my eye. I was a wide-eyed third grader hoping to make a difference as my class lent a hand in cleaning up Sandy Hook as part of a field trip. And I guess there was some really terrible shit going on in our nation that year, because before we took to the beaches with no protective gear whatsoever, a permission slip was sent home asking parents to have a conversation with us 8-year-olds about what hypodermic needles were and what they were used for. Same thing with used condoms and why we shouldn't pick them up. That was life growing up in New Jersey. I don't know why the fuck they thought it was a good idea to send large swaths of 8-year-olds onto the beaches to pick up fucking hypodermic needles, but apparently it was the move.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's free labor.
Yeah,
exactly.
It was the first and last time I saw a condom, and that's going to do it for Hard Factor, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, we're doing a little 420 event with our buddies at High Times today at 2:30 Central. Tune in. I believe it'll be hightimes.com/live, but again, don't quote me on that. Keep an eye out for that link on our Twitter at Hard Factor News. Do us a favor, give us a follow there. Also at Hard Factor Mark, at Hard Factor Will, at Hard Factor Wes, and at Hard Factor Pat. Subscribe if you can. If you leave a 5-star review on iTunes, we will read it no matter how mean or nice. They've been nicer recently, which makes me a little suspicious, but we will read the reviews on Wednesdays and Fridays shows. Also, we have a voicemail line. That number is, I always fucking forget it.
512-217-1480. Right?
Probably. You might want to check our Twitter bio to make sure, but leave us a voicemail, ask us a question, and we'll be happy to play it on the air. Thank you guys, and most importantly, have a great fucking day.